Hi guys, so today I'm going to be giving you a review about the Jovi air dry clay. So like I said, it's air dry clay. It comes in a half a pound, or you can actually find it also in a pound. The colors that you're usually going to find, it's going to be either white or it's going to be this brown color. However, you can find the white one in half a pound also if you don't want to buy a quantity so big. All depends on what you actually want to do. Basically the price, at least where I bought it, was the pound was $4 and the half a pound was exactly half the price. It was $2.50. So I think it's in a very affordable price because it's very big and you don't actually use a lot of it, especially if you're making small little pieces for charms or using them for deco. Then it all depends on what you actually want to do. So the color that I have right here, it's the brown color, and the first thing that you would actually want to know about it is that it's a little bit messy. Like you can see, I just ripped a little piece off and my hand's already a little bit dirty. It takes to have usually this sort of muddy appearance on your hands because it dries off really quickly and it's going to be like chalky, just like that. This clay is very particular because you need to condition it properly before you use it, or when you're using it and you see it's getting dry and cracked up. So basically when you are using this clay, you have to always make sure that it's conditioned and that it's not on a place where a fan, for example, is hitting it, because it's going to dry quicker and it's going to be harder to maintain. So what I do to condition this clay after you roll it, if you see it's a little it's a little cracked because it's getting dry, you need to always have a little cup of water. Just a little, it's enough. Sorry. But just a little, it's enough, because you just need to dab a little your finger and kind of roll it around the areas that need to be smooth. And you can see that the crack is actually disappearing, and just like that. And you keep on smoothing it a little. I know that the paper is a little bit messy, but I have it here because this is the evidence of when I was doing these little pieces. I had to condition them with a little bit of water, so it can get a little messy. Always have a little piece of paper so that you don't ruin the surface that you're using. So like I said, you just condition it with just a little bit of water. You can see that little piece there. And with just a little water, you dab your fingers and you massage it, and then afterwards you're not going to have that anymore, and it's going to be perfect to use. Another thing about this clay is that you're going to see it in this very sort of brownish color, but after it's dry, it is going to change. It's going to go and become a little bit lighter. So if you don't want it to change color, I would definitely suggest to use a little bit of acrylic paint so that the color can stay. You just squish it down a little, just like that, and right there in the center you dab a little bit of the brown paint, for example, and you just start squishing it. It's gonna get messy, so always have baby wipes. You can have hand wipes, or you can just have soap and water, whatever you prefer, because this clay, it's actually not bad to get out of your hands. You just need a little bit of water and it's gonna come quickly right off. The reason why I tell you to condition it with water, it's because when it dries, it can crack up. This is the evidence of me trying to use this, this clay. I didn't actually know at first that I needed to condition it with water because it was doing fine, but yeah, it separated completely. That just happened right now. if you don't condition it properly, it's not gonna work. I smoothed it out and everything, but when I added this other piece to make the macaroon, I just stuck it there and I did the whole effect and everything and put everything together. And after it dried, when I went to take it, when I just grabbed it, it just fell off. And this is because I didn't use water. It's a very key component so that you can use it and it's not going to get ruined. This is another example of a little macaroon I did that you can see it right there. And I actually used for the filling a little bit of silicone, and I used water in this one to condition it, and it just stays on perfectly. I attached it and it hasn't been separated. It's been here for a few days and it's worked wonderful. It hasn't broken or anything, so I'm happy about that. Another effect of not using water would be this. It cracked up completely because I didn't use water to fix it, to condition it. The warmth of your hands actually helps a lot. So when you're conditioning it, you just roll it around and put a little while on your hands, and then you keep on molding it, and it's gonna work perfectly. So you have this other piece that tells you that it's not a good idea to just use it like that. So I would definitely recommend to have a little bit of water by your side. I did this 2 little cupcakes because I was just trying them out. So these are 2 other choices. These are 2 other options. And you can see they're not the most beautiful cupcakes ever because I was just practicing, but you get the whole picture that it just stayed there after it dried. It didn't crack or it didn't separate from the other part. Another thing that I would say is that just like this, when it's drying, it's gonna do this a lot. It's gonna kind of like crack a little, and you're gonna have a lot of pieces flying over. This is the evidence. So I'm showing you that just happens, and I'm gonna clean this afterwards. So the basic idea is that you always have your clay conditioned and that you always use water for it. Now, about the white color, it's actually not as white as you would probably expect it to be. I'm going to take a little piece off. That also gets stuck in your hand just like that. It's white, but it's not a very clean white. Maybe you don't see it properly, but it looks a little bit more like a cement color. So this you can paint it to make it a little whiter, or you can use any other color if you want to have another color for the clay. So basically it's not completely white, but we can work with that. Also, this clay dries pretty fast when you're working with it on your hands, so try not to have it on a very ventilated area, like having a fan near you, because it's going to dry quicker and it's just not going to work out because you're going to have to be conditioning it constantly, and it's not going to be helpful when you are trying to make a piece. It's going to be a little harder to just put it all together. So basically it's a very affordable clay. It's a very good choice for beginners, so I would definitely recommend that when you're trying to learn how to use it and how to do your little projects. I would recommend it. It's at a fair price, I consider that. The only thing is you have to learn how to work with it. And basically, yeah, it dries up in a day or 2 days. I always leave it 2 days because it dries from the outside to the inside. So it could be looking dry on the outside, but it can still be a little wet on the inside. So I hope that this helped a lot. and that you can comment below, and in case you can subscribe. If you have any doubts, then you can just